Good morning, coffee moaners.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning to our regulars, and good morning to all new people that have joined us today. And if we could just ask you to hit the subscribe button, it really helps get these videos out to many others. And my God, what a morning, what a night last night. It was just it's been a completely unbelievable, again, 24 hours.
I'm not exaggerating when I say that we are sat on the precipice of something enormous, even more enormous than the enormous precipices we've been sat on the edge of every day almost for the last 2 years. But we are, what's happening in America, obviously, we're talking about Charlie Kirk. It's quite seismic, but not necessarily for all the reasons you think we're possibly going to say it's seismic for. Of course, there's the tragedy of someone being shot. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about him. But there are just epic
ramifications,
epic gyrations everywhere, but including also, we're talking about Charlie Kirk. We're also talking about the fact that our Prime Minister invites genociders to Downing Street and has cups of tea with them.
And proudly shakes his hand at the door and everything. So that was really a lot to bear, wasn't it, for many of us yesterday?
And alongside a whole host of other really unsettling clips, disturbing stories, images, clips and what have you. We've also got to pre-warn you, Netanyahu doubles down on his threat to
the world,
Qatar and the world.
Well, the world. He's threatening everyone now. So that was very scary yesterday. We've also got some funny little videos that we're going to... No, but I've got them for when you've taken...
yeah, but I need them sent. I need them sent to me, though.
Yeah.
So I
thought I'd do them one by one as you dropped a video. I thought that's
something like that, babe.
Okay. I'll send them to you now.
Okay.
Yes. So
but
we are husband and wife, if anyone's wondering. What does it say on your cap? Friendship has evolved. Oh, that's nice. With me?
Yeah.
With them?
With everyone. I think friendship was evolved. It's from a movie called Megan.
Before we get into the world, let's just say a few hellos and a few welcomes to people. And please, if you are new, please do comment. We love it. So just a couple.
Let's say hello to Faith Goodman. Haven't seen you for a while, which makes a great point of delighted to see Gary Lineker win.
Yes, thank you for that. I was thrilled to bits, and Jordan O'Sullivan,
up the Gaza,
who was actually at the NTAs last night. Oh, can you get him back, Mark?
Oh, sorry,
he's just gone up.
He
was actually at the NTAs last night, and he was making me laugh because where is he?
Just a little bit. Yeah, very anxious today.
Oh, very anxious today, and pissed off that Loose Women didn't win the NTA.
Oh, bless you.
Listen,
you can dream.
It won't happen.
Not because it shouldn't.
But it was funny because Jordan was at the NTAs and we had a premiere of our vlog, and he was watching the vlog while he was in the audience at the NTA. So I said, "Oh, it's a riveting show, is it, Jordan?" Right.
Yeah. No, I'm reading a comment.
No, because I just wanted to tell you something. Sorry. So then Jordan was there. So I said to Mark this morning, "It's great. We can hear from Jordan about all the people that were applauding Gary Lineker," because I found it very strange, because people would have you think that if you were on the telly, or if you were in showbiz, or if you are, or this business we call shows, let's say, or if you are anybody that has a platform, if you speak up against a genocide, you will lose all work, the world will hate you, and all of that. And yet he won Best Presenter yesterday. So I was interested in who was clapping for that.
And who was clapping? Oh, I see, Jordan. Right, tell us. Yes.
You saw anyone? Because have any of them spoken up that were clapping and against the genocide?
I'd go further than that. I'd say that everyone stood up and applauded, and I bet everyone was panic-stricken and hoping that they didn't get a cutaway.
Get seen. Yeah.
I think everyone would have been like, we've got to applaud. I think everyone will have been absolutely petrified of being caught applauding, though you can't not applaud if the camera cuts to you.
Yeah.
It was a great moment where everyone, all of celebrity was caught in the headlights, because basically if Gary Lineker wins, best presenter, was it, or personality?
It
or whatever.
says something.
Well, it has to say something.
Of course
Given
it does,
why
'cause
he
he's
was
known-
fired.
He's known for speaking up against the genocide.
Up the Gaza.
Does anyone remember the year when I was caught saying, when This Morning had just won every fucking year, and it went in all the papers because you could see it so clearly from my mouth?
Very much so.
And everyone always sits there really polite. And I go, oh, here we go, every fucking year.
Zoe Agnew says maybe everyone will get arrested this morning for clapping.
Yes.
That's
Anyway.
hate. It's Hamas. That's Hamas.
Yeah, I just thought Jordan might be able to give us some context, as he was our Sawalha-Adderley man in the building.
Yeah. Shilly, Gary speaking up for Gaza broke Anton Deck's record.
I used to go, Lucy. Was it theirs, or was it an award that's given by Anton? Oh, it was.
No, it's the award they've won for 23 years.
Oh, it was, because I thought that.
So what's great about this is, because am I right in thinking the NTAs are all voted for by the public? Yeah.
Yes. That's what I mean.
So what does this tell? I'm not homing in on any individual broadcaster here, and this is only my opinion. But what does this tell broadcasters and brands? There's an enormous market for people who are humanitarian, have integrity, and are quite comfortable with calling out egregious international war crimes. Let me go one step further to brands, advertisers, and commercial channels and channels. I would go so far as to say, nurture that audience. Cater for that audience.
Because the world is changing.
Hear that audience.
People don't want fake celebrities that,
don't.
So, I'm so thrilled for him. I'm so thrilled, because he would have been fearful if he was ever going to work again and all of that. And
it's all good news.
It's all good news.
It's all good news. I just want to show this cartoon just at the beginning. Can we call it a genocide yet? No, not until everyone's dead. Sorry.
Oh my God, that is so where we are at.
That's where we're at. That's where the Labour Party is at. We're going to be talking about Starmer meeting the genocider from the genocidal nation Israel. And we are at this point where David Lammy and Starmer can justifiably say there's no genocide because they haven't killed everyone yet. That's kind of, is that the definition we need? Is that the place we need to get to? So
Lone Ranger, lovely to have you back. Resubscribe because he lost his channel, so lovely to have you back.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So
moving
let's
on.
get going.
So we're going to talk about Charlie Kirk. Where were you when this news broke last night? I saw the news break, but we didn't see the footage. Now, I do want to stress before we move on, we are not going to be showing the moment that Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck.
Shocking.
It's so shocking. It's and the shockingness of that footage, before anyone says anything, we are drawing direct comparisons, parallels, and interesting contrasts with how people aren't shocked by similar footage when children in Gaza are shot in the head, neck, crotch, wherever.
But also, from here that we don't show those either. We explain them, but we don't show them, because I think that if you want to see those things, you can find them, and we never want to put a person in a position where they're just suddenly seeing something as horrific as that.
Yes.
But so Mark, first of all, Charlie Kirk, lots of people had never heard of him. I hadn't heard of him until last night.
Well, I don't know him intimately. I don't know him, for example, I don't know of him as a sort of part of the MAGA movement in the way that I do know about Tucker Carlson.
Yes.
We do know about Candace
Green.
Owens, Marjorie Taylor Greene, etc. And maybe that's because they're more our age. This guy, Charlie Kirk, was very much, as one of our daughters said, he's our generation. And no words can actually express how young people we know who are in no way politically aligned with Charlie Kirk whatsoever were so shocked. They felt there's a feeling.
To the point, we were getting calls from pubs from the young people we know yesterday, giving us the news, and we were like, "Wow, God!"
Yeah.
I mean, it's massive in that generation, isn't it?
And I would go so far as to say the reason it is important to talk about how shocking the footage is, and it's not to say that any of the other footage isn't shocking, is because it's always shocking. It's shocking to see it, and the day that we don't find anyone being shot in the neck on television, and you see the blood pour from his neck as we do. You see him slump.
Gone on.
Like a tap's gone on, like we did with the horrendous footage I saw of the poor Ukrainian woman stabbed on the bus in America.
I won't watch that one.
It's
saying her daughters went to school anxious today because they saw it on TikTok.
Well, I have to say, I got shown the footage of. I'm only going there just for a moment of the Ukrainian woman. I was left in shock, and as I'm left in shock when I see the destroyed remains and the lifeless skin of children put in sacks. And I've got a clip from one of the Hadid sisters who talks about we really need to be mindful about how we compare and contrast our responses, or why our responses are what they are like to certain images of death and slaughter.
I mean, there were Qataris that were killed for absolutely no reason the day before.
Six people got killed the other day, and who cares about who they are? So Charlie Kirk was a firebrand for young MAGA. He was an extraordinarily offensive individual. He was racist. He was sexist.
Videos. I just can't believe that people still talk like that.
He was an ardent defender and supporter of the Israeli regime, and yet we're going to get into the nitty-gritty on that a little bit, because there is a very strong and pervasive part of not just social media, but the MAGA movement, and there's an online opinion, very strong building online opinion, that there could be some connection between his murder and potentially him starting to be a little bit critical, even him, of Israel.
Even him, who doesn't recognize Palestine at all, doesn't even understand what it is.
And we're going to show some, we've got lots of clips to show you, so we're going to be showing you lots of clips. But just on that point, the reason that isn't such a stretch is because if we think of the likes of Tucker Carlson, Candace Owen, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, politically in a totally opposite place to, say, us, and yet they're all becoming increasingly vocal in their criticisms of Israel. So it is a thing. It's not like it's an imagined thing that MAGA, a lot of people in MAGA, in Trump's base, are dissatisfied with Israel. And this guy, it appears, was beginning to ask a few questions too. And
Donna Holland has pointed that out. And you've accidentally said November the 7th, though, Donna, but you say October, you mean October the 7th.
Yeah, what's that?
Donna's just saying.
Donna Holland, he had been publicly questioning Netanyahu's role in the October 7th massacre. 2 days later, he was assassinated, in my opinion, Mossad. Well, someone else I'd like to, can you repeat your comment, says, Dina, in inimitable fashion, he was an utter moron.
Dina's in the room, folks. That's my sister, if you're new to the channel.
Can someone repost the suggestion that there was when you say there was a CIA Mossad person behind him, I mean, we're going to talk about this. How do we know it's Mossad? How do we know that? Unless you're equating CIA with Mossad. Now, anything we talk about here is supposition. You know, Donald Trump has already said this is a consequence of the radical left, which is curious because
because he doesn't know yet, because nobody's been caught.
Well, because as we stand, the manhunt is still underway.
So everything here is about discussion, isn't it? And about wondering and about having an opinion. But nobody knows.
No shooter has been caught.
The shooter
Two people were arrested. One particular guy, Mr. Zinn, one guy who was an older guy, I think you saw the images of him. The reason he was battled to the ground and arrested and was the first potential suspect was because he'd been heard in the crowd saying, "Shoot him." Now, Americans can be incredibly outspoken, and given the fact that he was giving a speech or a talk about the right to shoot people.
You'd have to be arrested, though, wouldn't you? If he's just been shot, you've been shouting, "Shoot him." I mean, that's going to happen.
But I'm just going to show you the latest headlines as they're running. Literally, I just got them minutes before we went live. Manhunt for Charlie Kirk killer continues as Trump says it's a dark moment for America.
Well, you've been in a very dark moment for a very long time, America.
Search for Charlie Kirk's killer underway as Trump vows crackdown on political violence. Now, these are images being published of someone a little bit like when someone tried to shoot Donald Trump's ear off. Do you remember there was a guy lying flat on top of a warehouse? This, they say, is an image of someone on a building opposite where Charlie Kirk was talking. There's an image of the person standing up.
Wow, he's a long way.
Yeah, it's a sniper. This is a
very professional shot.
Very capable shooter. This is the moment he's been hit. Now, this is literally his body kicks back.
He's just been asked about the crime numbers, hasn't he? He's just about saying what, including, oh God, what was he said? Anyway, he's just talking about gun crime, and then it comes in and it goes right there, and it is honestly like a tap has been turned on.
Other reports and other photographs and analysis of Charlie Kirk at the point that he was talking suggest that he was wearing a bulletproof jacket.
Ghost, we don't know, but that's the suggestion.
And you could apparently see from just the positioning of his shirt and his top. And we're going to get to why he might have been wearing that in a minute, because we have another influencer here who, or a social media influencer, far-right influencer, who has his very strong opinions on this. But this is the moment he was hit. It was shortly after this, tragically, blood poured from his neck and he was slumped in his chair. These are the analytics on where he was, where the shooter was. You have to be a highly trained sniper to hit someone in the neck
200 yards.
From that distance.
From here to where, Mark? I'm terrible with
probably from here to the gate to the place next door. These are the immediate shots of people responding, understandably, very reminiscent of the Donald Trump.
All those people there traumatized. All those people around, you've got to think about, it's not just this one act. The trauma for those people that were close up to that will affect them their whole lives, won't it?
This is him sitting just shortly before he was shot. This is him with his family, his wife and his children. These are people panicking, trying to get away. This is the first guy they arrested for screaming, "Shoot him!" And these are just the latest images that we've just
did were his wife and kids there?
Don't know. That's a good question. But I just want to play you this clip because this guy, Harrison H. Smith. I'm not going to name names, but I was told by someone close to Charlie Kirk that Charlie thinks Israel will kill him if he turns against him.
And this is from...
And this is a guy who is he runs another sort of far-right kind of, opinion piece on Twitter and on YouTube. But I just want to play you the first minute and a half of what he had to say in relationship to that tweet he posted was on, I think, August 13th. So we're looking at about a month ago that this guy, Harrison H. Smith, posted it. This is Harrison H. Smith. Just listen to this.
I wanted to make a video at least to talk a little bit about my tweet that's gone completely viral from last month. It's now the #1 tweet on anything Benjamin Netanyahu is posting. So thanks, guys. Really glad I'm on his radar now. That's cool. But it's true. I mean, I don't really have too much to add to it, honestly. I'm not going to say who it was that told me because they've asked me not to, kind of for obvious reasons. So if they want to go public, they're more than welcome to. I don't have much to add to it other than basically like a month ago, I watched an interview with Megyn Kelly and Charlie Kirk, and I thought they looked scared, and I commented on that, made a video out of it. And then like a day or so later, I was talking to this person, and the way I remember the conversation going was that we were just talking about sort of Israel and Zionism and Zionist influencers, and Charlie Kirk came up, and I remember the other person saying to me, well, Charlie Kirk says he's afraid to go against Israel because he thinks they might kill him. And I said, that's crazy because I just made that video about how Charlie Kirk seems scared. That's crazy that you're saying that right now. And that's the way that conversation, I remember it going. It may have been the other way around. I may have said they look scared, and they said, well, he says he thinks, Israel will kill him for going against him. But then we talked about other stuff.
So there you go. So this is the guy. So you've got that. You've also got Megyn Kelly, the Megyn Kelly News channel here. You can see on the top left, Megyn and Charlie Kirk push back against Israel supporters demanding their unconditional support. Megyn Kelly show. Charlie Kirk splits with Trump on anti-Semitism crackdown, warns that free speech rights are under attack. So this is the suggestion that whilst he was entirely supportive of Israel, he was perhaps clambering towards some of the things that Tucker Carlson's been saying.
And that doesn't mean in any way he was shifting his position on Palestinians. But what it is, he's pure MAGA, and it's about make America great again.
Yes.
And more and more, there are more and more awakening to the fact that huge amounts of money goes to Israel, and that Israel, even though Trump came in on the ticket that he didn't want war and it was going to be zero war, they can see themselves being pulled into. That's certainly Marjorie Taylor Greene's position as well, and they don't want it because they do actually mean make America great again. Very fascist, very right wing, but that's why they're starting to turn against Israel. Well,
let's hear from Charlie Kirk himself, because there's a couple of clips here where he does sound a little bit.
But it goes to the point where, if, for example, if I have less ability sometimes online to criticize the Israeli government without backlash than actual Israelis do.
It's been
almost
so
as if
unfair. They were coming after you after Turning Point for, among other things, that you had Dave Smith there. Dave Smith isn't allowed to criticize Israel. You had both sides. The Israeli side was overrepresented.
Though. No, you're not allowed to. It's even worse than that. Like, I host a person that I moderate the debate of, mind you, right? And I give equal time to Josh Hammer, equal time to a pro-Israel advocate, and my moral character is being put into question. And so I think it's a hyper paranoid, like, we're just going to try to, we're going to just stamp out everything type of practice.
It's like there's some rule you can't go there when it comes to Israel.
Well, you and I believe that we're Americans and Americans first, period. End of story. We are citizens of this nation, okay?
That's right.
Israel, we have funded, we have supported, like we're going to, but we're like, honestly, the way you are treating me is so repulsive. I have text messages, Megyn, calling me an anti-Semite, but my moral character is now being put into question, Megyn. Not my decisions, not like, hey, are you doing this? Is it smart or is it dumb? But no, I am a bad person if I do this. And I could go, I mean, you saw it, Megyn. It was trending on Twitter, thousands of tweets and text messages.
It's offensive to those of us who have been out there defending them in many instances against critics on our own side. And now you have a couple of comments like, well, what about?
Can I just say?
Exactly, Hope. We are thinking the same thing.
What's that?
That she's saying her mum's really concerned Trump will use this to call martial law.
Who remembers Netanyahu challenging the algorithm?
Yes, he said we've got to stop this algorithm. It's getting in the way of what we're doing.
I thought he meant interfere with the algorithm. I didn't think he meant kill people who create content.
Well, we don't know. It's opinion.
I've got a couple of other clips. Let's hear from, so obviously we're hearing from Charlie Kirk, who was shot yesterday. The other point I'd like to make is no assassination in the history of America is ever straightforward. I think it's fair to say one can never accept the sort of first answer and the first definition, right down to even Trump's ear being shot off. The weirdest thing about the assassination attempt on Trump, just as a brief sidebar, is given what we know about Trump and his desire for vengeance and his inability to let go of a gripe, we've never heard him talk about the shooter ever since he's been president.
So weird. I always say that. I find it so weird.
Not
because he talks about everything.
Not once.
It's really strange.
Just got another clip here, just from Charlie Kirk, just incoming. I use a little graphic now.
Nice.
And Ghislaine's father, Robert Maxwell, who was obviously a spy of the Israeli intelligence agencies, that there was something else going on here. Epstein was not some sort of whiz kid hedge fund manager. Epstein was playing a part. Epstein was a LARPer. Epstein was cast for a specific role, and he played it really well. The sweatpants and the Harvard jacket, the kind of disheveled hair, looking as if he was so smart and above the clouds that he was doing advanced mathematic equations on the back of napkins. But if you actually go into some of the videos of people that met with Epstein at the time, they said he was awfully unimpressive when it came to finance and markets and economics. And it's nothing new that if you're in the intel agencies, you want to try and get as much blackmail on powerful people as possible. Easy, not hard. And this is no longer just speculation. First of all, the evidence that shows that Epstein was a creation of either Mossad, Israeli intelligence, American intelligence, Saudi intelligence, or maybe he was just a hired gun. Maybe he was just the guy that countries would go to and park a couple $100 million and say, hey, can you get one of the members of the royal family with a 13-year-old so we can get them to do what we want to do? Members of Congress are actively being blackmailed. The Epstein playbook is being used on a daily basis. Jeffrey Epstein was not a financier. He was not a hedge fund manager. Jeffrey Epstein was a key player in a multi-decade blackmail operation against the most powerful people on the planet.
So I think we just need to clear things up, because I can understand there's a couple of people here saying, but I'm confused. Was he pro or anti-Israel?
Yeah, very good question. And and once again, Charlie Kirk, let's just say Charlie Kirk is a young influencer, political commentator, MAGA sort of representative, a huge supporter of Donald Trump, who absolutely galvanized,
massive racist,
a massive sexist, a massive Islamophobic, and we're going to get to those points in a minute.
Major Islamophobic.
And listen, the reason we're talking about this, and we're not, you're right, on the same day yesterday, there was another shooting, school shooting in Colorado. I'm not entirely sure whether, I know 3 people were hit. I don't know if they were if they were killed. I think they might have been. We're not for a minute highlighting one thing above the other. The point here is this, whilst people might not know who this guy is, people need to know who this guy was, because this is a political assassination, which is going to be used and is already being used by Donald Trump for possibly some of the most egregious and life-changing and nation-changing decisions that could well be made in the next 24 hours.
It
There's
could
no
rocket him to the dictator that he plans to
Reese
be.
Roberts says he was absolutely crucial in securing Donald Trump the young vote at the last election. This guy, alongside the likes of Tucker Carlson, all those other influencers, the Joe Rogan interview, this guy won Trump the election. And he speaks to, he goes on the sort of university circuit, which is why he was shot at a university in Utah. Now, going back
profited from hate, somebody said.
Absolutely.
I can't believe some of the videos I've seen.
And we're going to show you some of those, because this isn't about, it's not about not feel sorry. My point about people being shot and people talking about whether they deserve it or don't deserve it is another topic that we also want to talk about, because I find it makes me feel unclean when I say there's a satisfaction in anyone being shot or anyone, killed by their own sword or all that kind of stuff. I just think ultimately you will spiritually and morally pay the price for that somewhere if you express it. It's just my feeling for anyone. But the point about was he pro, was he anti? I mean, do you want to kind of speak to that? Because it seems contradictory. It's like Tucker, I think.
Well, he's a religious zealot, isn't he? And he believes, like we've got videos of him here, not understanding what Palestine means. Or what to be and he's always quoting the Bible and Judea and this and that. And I literally don't know what he's talking about. So he would have, he speaks often about how many times he's visited Israel. I think we've got a clip saying that. So I think that I believe that he was very pro-Israel, but it feels like, because I don't know, I'm just literally finding out about this guy in the last 24 hours. It feels like, rather like Marjorie Taylor Greene, there is an awakening of actually what Israel is costing, that it's not this perfect angelic, that Netanyahu isn't this perfect angel, the only a democracy on the planet at the moment. It feels like Netanyahu. So there was a lot of questions coming. Where that started for him, I don't know. I don't know whether this is very recent. I don't know. You know
what? I think it's very easy to kind of describe and understand. I don't see a contradiction in it with the likes of Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene. What these politicians are about is America first. And so it starts with their extreme, I feel, white supremacy. Precisely. That's where they come from. But located in America. All of America. They want... Now, I don't think they're wrong when they say, why are we giving billions to Israel when we don't have free healthcare and we don't have good education system and people are starving and people are... That's the question they started to ask, because they were actual MAGA. Whereas Trump faked MAGA, because Trump is just about make Trump great again. And so, And I think what's really troubling and why we have to ask questions and why it's only my opinion, but there's an opinion that's spreading. It's not a stretch to connect Epstein to Israel, to Mossad, to the reluctance and the slowness and the refusal of the West to do anything to curtail Israel's aggression in the Middle East. That's not a massively complicated thought process. Oh, Israel's got lots of fucking blackmail-y kind of stuff about all the people that matter in the West. Oh, right, that's why no one's doing anything. That's pretty straightforward to me. It doesn't take a fucking genius to work that out. And I think, it's not particularly complicated to think, well, okay, they're fine with Israel in principle, but actually even by Israeli supporting principles, Israel's gone too far. And I think, not being able to say anything, where this gets dangerous is that today, this morning, I would not like to be Tucker Carlson, Candace Owen, or Marjorie Taylor Greene. I would not like to be anyone with a high profile in America who is critical of Israel. That tells you everything. If you don't feel safe being critical of a nation in your own country, it tells you a lot. I'm going to play one last clip. You're not going to get this kind of chat. The thing is, guys, if you could hit the subscribe button, it really helps. Videos like this get out to other people. It doesn't cost you anything. Just hit that subscribe button. Yeah. Stephanie, what's your thoughts on Trump's earshot and Israeli warning? Possibly. I'm just going to show you this. This is a final clip from the kind of the sense of Israeli fear of Israel within the Charlie Kirk camp. Then we're going to talk about his really quite offensive kind of opinions. Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene did look shocked.
How did these guys not know this was taking place?
So I've been to Israel many times. The whole country's a fortress. When I first heard this
is about October the 7th
story, I still had the same gut instinct that I did initially. I find this very hard to believe. I've been to that Gaza border. You cannot go 10 feet without running into a 19-year-old with an AR-15 or an automatic machine gun that is an IDF soldier, right? The whole country is surveilled. And so let me just kind of go through this. We don't talk about Israeli politics very often, and most Americans don't know this. The last 9 months, Israel was on the brink of civil war. It's not an exaggeration. This judicial stuff, there were hundreds of thousands of Israelis taking to the streets because Bibi Netanyahu was basically redefining the Israeli constitution. That's not an exaggeration, right? He said the judicial branch has too much power. There were protests planned this week against Netanyahu, where they anticipated tens of thousands of people to take to the streets. That's all gone, Patrick. Netanyahu now has an emergency government and a mandate to lead. I'm not willing to go so far that saying that Netanyahu knew or there was intelligence here, but I think some questions need to be asked. Was there a stand down order? Was there a stand down order? 6 hours? I don't believe it. Israel's the size of New Jersey. When I took a helicopter ride from Jerusalem to the Gaza border, it's 45 minutes. Wow. 6 hours. They're live streaming the killing of Jews. Did somebody in the government say stand down? That is a legitimate, non-conspiracy question.
And I hate to say it, I entirely agree.
When was that? Because since then, of course, we've had IOFs coming out and saying that they were stood down, haven't we? Yeah. And they couldn't understand why.
Absolutely.
So I wonder when that was filmed. Well, that's very dangerous for him.
Well, so, he's not anti-Israel.
No.
He's asking questions. It's
like he says, it's not a conspiracy. It's just these are questions that I would have to ask. Like many people have been asking. It is the most surveilled country in the world. It is tiny. People don't realize how close Gaza is.
I mean, does anyone feel that there's a connection between the absolute kind of chaos that Netanyahu is causing in the Middle East, attacking Qatar, Doha, attacking Yemen again yesterday, hitting Lebanon, occupying Syria, weapons of mass destruction, dodgy dossier type stuff about Iran. Is there any connection between that and what appears to be an inflammatory and an increasingly chaotic situation? You made a really valid point this morning where you said Netanyahu knows how to play Trump. And Trump
plays him like a fiddle.
And I felt your suggestion being that Trump is going to go, this is radical left, this is radical left. He might not have even stopped to think or be told. I mean, what would he do if he was told by his intelligence assets that this was a Mossad hit? What would he do? After all of the Russia interference, China interference, it's okay for Israel.
I was thinking that this morning. I was thinking, because I was thinking this morning, and again, nobody knows. This is all just like we say, we do our news, we chat like we do with our friends and with our family. And at the moment, nobody knows where this sniper came from or where it could end up. But I was thinking, again, like America has extraordinary amounts of intelligence, and I was thinking that exact same thing. I was thinking, because they were in the Situation Room yesterday, surely somebody will have come and said, we have intel, whoever it was.
Unless intel, look, and again, these are theories. The suggestion was that there are connections around the JFK assassination. It seemed odd that it happened around the same time that there was a debate and he was challenging Israel's right to nuclear weaponry.
And to just pack this all away always with just conspiracy theories, when actually we're all human beings that have the right to just really think about things and talk about things and wonder about things. And I think that many of us have spent too long not doing that in fear of thinking, that's just a conspiracy theory. It is interesting. There's so many tendrils that seem to be tucking into each other.
Piano Man, thank you for supporting the channel. That's very kind. And also I just want to say thank you to GM Lovely, who's just gifted 5 memberships. So you will get non-political content in the Sunday show and once a month cook-alongs on the side of the channel, which is kind of trying to just have fun. I just want to read you, I've got screenshots of some telling tweets. Benjamin Netanyahu posted this morning. Charlie Kirk was murdered for speaking truth and defending freedom, a lion-hearted friend of Israel. He fought the lies and stood tall for Judeo-Christian civilization. I spoke to him 2 weeks ago and invited him to Israel. Sadly, that visit will not take place. We lost an incredible human being. His boundless pride in America and his valiant belief in free speech will leave a lasting impact. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Interestingly, beneath that, someone's posted the Harrison H. Smith piece. I'm not going to name names, but I was told that Charlie Kirk thinks Israel will kill him if he turns against them. That's Netanyahu. Look at this one. So Donald Trump, not surprisingly, I'm not going to read that. Oh, Ben Gvir. Like so many others, and that's over an image of the moment. Apologies.
Oh, he's put the image up of him.
Yeah.
Is that how he's posted?
No. This is how someone else has posted it.
Sorry.
Like so many others, I'm devastated by the shooting and praying for Charlie Kirk. I should have given you a warning on that image there. Sorry. Bassem says this.
Right, Bassem. So this is when one gets the darkest thoughts. This is not just a random guy shooting. To target Charlie Kirk in front of hundreds of cameras in the open, this is public execution. This is sending a message. I don't know what the message is yet, but how people now are losing their mind on both sides. I fear there will be another target, but from the left. Maybe an up-and-coming problematic leftist candidate, and people will be led to believe that this is retaliation. The way this was carried out is not random. It is scary. And the outcome is even more scary. This is terrible. And, you know, we always refer back to, except I can never remember the name of it. What is the name of it? What, that brilliant documentary that we watched?
Social Project?
Social Dilemma.
Sorry, Social Dilemma.
And when they talk about civil war and, you know, at the time, we thought that was going to be decades away, didn't we? But yet here we are. And I don't think it's over the top to say that I would imagine there's real fear now of civil war in America.
Well, I think Bassem's point's really good. I mean, I don't think it takes any kind of you don't get any awards for thinking he might be referring to characters like the guy who could win the mayorship in New York, Mandani. I mean, there are many people who will be. This will send fear through all the higher echelons of government in America.
Very, very vulnerable. Mandani is unbelievably. Mandani is the first. Could be possibly Muslim mayor of New York. And I was thinking of him this morning, thinking, Christ, retaliation.
And one of his campaign policies is to remove the New York pension fund from investing in Israeli bonds. You know, I mean, he's anti. Yeah, I mean, you know, so I just want to read this Peace for Palestine. Netanyahu's tweet was one of the first read out on Sky News. And don't for a minute think that Netanyahu knew he needed to get his tweet out quickly.
Was it? How interesting. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
I didn't know that.
Thank you for that.
Wow.
I just want to,
and then possibly a statement from the IDF straight afterwards. I mean, I don't know. Seems
Maybe.
to be where we go to first.
I'm just going to show you, I have got some footage. Again, we're not showing you the shooting. This is just so that I can make sure I've shown you all the clips that I've brought together this morning. This is the immediate aftermath of the shooting on the scene.
Horrible.
And then we have a clip here of a supporter of Charlie demonstrating his emotions.
This is such bullshit. I've never been so pissed in my whole life. They just murdered Charlie Kirk right here in Utah. I'm so freaking pissed right now. This is bullshit. I just saw blood squirting out of his neck. I love that guy. He would have been our next president. I am so pissed right now. Why do they always come with fucking violence? Gosh damn it. Use your freaking words as they're talking to you people. Who shot Charlie Kirk? I'm driving down a Provo right now. I'm so pissed. Damn it.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
And I just want to play this that just landed just shortly before we came.
See that about the school shootings.
No, you don't ever see it.
And never seen a single thing about Palestine. Never seen a single thing about the tens of thousands of children there that have been murdered, and the amputees. Let us never forget the largest cohort of child amputees ever in the world. I wish there was some rage from America as to what has happened and what they have made. All of it possible.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't make it right that a man was shot in the neck. No. And it doesn't make it okay or any different that his family and his children, it's like Mark says, we are not eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. We want a more peaceful world. We want the rage to come down. We want some decent people in charge that don't ask for more war and more anger and more guns and more murder. That is terrifying. That is civil war. That is what Bassem was talking about.
Yeah, Chief Wiggum makes a good point here. This is exactly what's happening. MAGA, Make America Great Base, is fracturing over its support for Israel. Was he shot to get MAGA to rally around together and bring them back onto the same page?
But
it's a risk.
That's a really good question, actually. What do people think? I think it will do the opposite. Because everywhere there is going to be this discussion about his support for Israel.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my fear with all of this is it's all about trying to manufacture consent. At the moment, we have the most tyrannical toddler on the planet, and I use that as a kind of metaphor for Israel in general and its attitude. It is marauding around the Middle East. We're going to play the quote, the interview with the Prime Minister of Qatar, and I just the reason I find I've uploaded it on my Instagram. The reason I wanted to play that is it just gives me comfort seeing someone so readily dismiss Netanyahu in that beautiful way that an Arab can, which is like, who is this kind of annoying oik? I just want to play this final clip from Michael Wolff. Michael Wolff is a very odd character. He's the biographer of Trump. He's a political commentator. I find him a bit kind of weird, but I do think he's right. He's in London and he uploaded this morning. And I just think the way he says it is a little bit like what Bassem said in his post.
Thought it couldn't get worse. It just has. Violence beyond its personal cost is always a political tipping point. Charlie Kirk, the MAGA personality, was hardly dead for minutes before Trump and the White House, without knowing who killed him or why, began to turn this into their latest weapon.
Yep.
It's morning in London, where I am today, and I think it's all incredibly important that we keep our eye on what happens in the U.S. During the next 24 hours.
Oh my God.
We really are at a tipping point. We really are at a tipping point. And whilst at that tipping point, we have some of the most spectacularly ill-equipped, underqualified, useless specimens of politicians doing what? Keir Starmer doing what? Entertaining.
Keir Starmer entertaining the Prime Minister.
Or the President of Israel.
Just pause with that for a second. Shaking his hand. This man signing missiles. That were being sent to kill innocent people, maim innocent people. And our Prime Minister greets him at the door.
I just want to play you the full clip. I posted part of it in a post I did on Instagram yesterday. Let me show you the full clip at Prime Minister's Question Time of the leader of the Scottish National Party. Oh, yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, I just want to play this. Sorry, before we jump on to Qatar and our government. You're right. This is one of the Hadid daughters talking about our response to the footage that we've seen, or some will have seen, of Charlie Kirk being shot, and our horror and our outrage versus the tolerance and acceptance of footage of similar things, worse things happening to Palestinians.
Just a reminder to everyone who's saying that seeing the video of Charlie Kirk being shot is too violent. Just a reminder. And we're seeing it every day on our phones. So check yourself when certain types of violence become dehumanized and when some violence feels like something you can't see. And when it's going to happen to Palestinians, it's going to happen here.
Mm-hmm. What do I always say, folks? In our thousands, in our millions, we are all Palestinians. Do not think, but this is a million miles away from us. Don't forget, Farage is copying Trump's playbook.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Rule by divide, divide, divide.
Yeah.
Have a system where anyone of a different color, life is just not valued in the same way.
So just to say, hit the subscribe button, share this, because the trolls are out today. Share this, it gets under their skin, it pushes it around. More people need to be having that. It's like Nadia says, none of us know. It's too soon to know. It's too soon for Donald Trump to say it's the crazy left.
But he's gone straight to get the left and right against it.
So what has to happen though here is everyone needs to be able to ask questions, and what the system and what these governments, what Israel, what America, what Starmer hates more than anything else in the mainstream media, absolutely, is anyone asking questions, difficult questions, tricky, non-mainstream narrative questions. We need to ask them. I just want to play you Stephen Flynn, head of the Scottish National Party, challenging Keir Starmer about him entertaining the president of a genocidal nation.
Is a graveyard, but rather than end arms sales, extend sanctions and stand by international law, the Prime Minister will today welcome into his home a home entrusted to him by the people of these Isles, the man who called for the collective punishment of the Palestinian people and who signed the artillery shells that destroyed their homes, their families and their friends. A man who will ignore every word the Prime Minister says. Would he invite Vladimir Putin into number 10? Would he invite Benjamin Netanyahu into number 10? What does it say of this Prime Minister that he will harbour this man whilst children starve?
Mr. Speaker, for the record, we have suspended arms that could be used in Gaza, we have sanctioned extremists, and we suspended trade talks. But the point he raised is a very serious one. We all want an outcome that ensures peace, that the hostages get out, that aid gets in, and there's a two-state outcome. It is the only way we will get peace in a region that has suffered conflict for a very, very long time. I will not give up on diplomacy. That is the politics of students.
Oh, I bet he thinks he got that to the back of the neck.
You absolute specimen. That's the politics of students, having an ideal. Michelle Penny, I've got to say I've been massively impressed by The View in America, who've been very vocal about it, all despite Trump keep telling them to be quiet.
Really, Michelle? Oh, I have to check that out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Starmer is a turncoat against international law. It's just what an absolutely hopeless individual he is. Really hopeless individual. I just want to show you, here's some footage of Herzog.
Excellent clips, Mark.
Thank you, Herzog arriving.
I can see President Herzog starting to step out of the car now, flanked by his security. President Herzog, are you a war criminal? Are you presiding over genocide in Gaza, President?
Well done.
Do Palestinians have a right to exist, or is that just for Israel?
Well, he'll say no.
Prime Minister, why are you shaking hands with a man who said there are no war criminal?
Did you see that?
Are you presiding over genocide in Gaza, President? Do Palestinians have a right to exist, or is that just for Israel? Prime Minister, why are you shaking hands with a man who said there are no innocents in Gaza? Are you complicit in genocide, Prime Minister?
Shook hands with a man who said there are no innocents in Gaza.
Let's just remember a few things. People are starving to death in Gaza because of a man-made famine, right? That is fully determined now, isn't it, by experts across the world, right? So a couple of miles down the road, there are hundreds of trucks filled with everything that is needed: nappies, medicines, food,
sanitary protection,
every single thing that they disallowing to continue micro and macro torture, okay? And that is determined. Everyone across the world knows that, right? Also, hundreds of genocide experts from across the globe have determined this as a genocide. Tick, tick.
But Lammy has decided it isn't.
Tick, tick. You go down the list of what determines a genocide. Tick, 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 tick. David Lammy, ex-foreign minister, a couple of days ago said, UK government doesn't believe that. What? You're cleverer than the experts on this, are you? And then this guy, Paddington Bloody Bear, is holding the hand of the president of the country that is imposing a man-made famine.
He just shook the hand of a man who signed missiles that possibly and probably killed children and innocents and
Don't
Palestinians.
forget, right at the beginning of this, he said Israel has the right to cut off water. When you say you can cut off water, you are saying you can kill people who are innocent, because the human body can live a fuck of a long time without food, but it can't live without water.
Breaking news, Mandelson has been sacked.
Oh!
Good. Good.
What?
Good. Good.
So
Peter
off the
Mandelson.
Back of what?
Off the back of the fact that all of his letters, more and more is coming out about how he basically said to Jeffrey Epstein, when Epstein was actually charged, after he'd been charged, he said, we can help you get out of this. Friends can help you.
Oh, I didn't know. I mean, I know, I've seen all the stuff
the letters,
in the book.
all of the postcards, all of that, but more keeps dripping out. And apparently he tried to facilitate a meet. Now, bear with me, just in my opinion. One of the bits of detail that's come through on the Mandelson story is that he tried to facilitate a meeting between Epstein and Blair. I can't quite get to the bottom of whether that meeting happened. I mean, we're going on a sidebar just for a moment, and we may have to come back to this. But my fear and my worry is that they've removed Mandelson because it's a liability now. I mean, the head of the investigation in America, the lawyer for all of the victims of Epstein in America yesterday was on the Andrew Marr show last night.
Right.
And she was saying, Mandelson, if he wants to stay in his post, the best thing he could do is, we're not saying he's done anything wrong. He knows stuff and he needs to share stuff. If he just resigns, he's telling us he doesn't want to share anymore. And he's been sacked. So he's gone. It's all linked. It's
BBC.
all linked. It's all inextricably entwined.
Widespread revulsion in the party over Lord Mandelson's links with convicted paedophile. So interesting.
More shame for Starmer. More shame for Starmer. I mean, you know what? When he was stood behind Donald Trump, way back when Trump first got in, I remember thinking, this is a very odd. Apparently, this woman said, the lawyer for Epstein's victims said, the vast majority of people in America in the corridors of power were aghast that the UK had put Mandelson in place. They were like, are you across how compromised he is and inextricably entwined he is with the Epstein story?
Obviously another thing that Starmer doesn't care about.
Yeah, but the arrogance, but you know what? I mean, I used to be one of those who would be like, look, I think we're stretching the envelope a bit here when we reach back to Starmer being head of the Crown Prosecution Service. A lot of people, obviously critical of his handling of the Jimmy Savile case. I'm now beginning to wonder whether Starmer's understanding of the fraud and misbehavior at the highest echelons of power is possibly one of the most intimate relationships with it in terms of knowledge, because he was head of the Crown Prosecution Service. Maybe he knows everything. Maybe he was the perfect man to put in Downing Street because he's actually entirely compromised.
Wow.
And so I've always thought, well, there was a bit of distance between Starmer and Blair, and he wasn't. But, all of these people, they all swish around in the same barrel cesspit of just toxic water and slush. They all know each other. It's astonishing.
What are people saying here?
Just lots of people saying, you know, he knows how the game works. We're in such a delicate place. Reform hoovering up support. I agree.
Yes.
He couldn't continue in that role. Prince Andrew was banished, and so should he be. Reed Mandelson.
Sorry, you couldn't continue in that role.
Yeah.
Wow.
The bots here, bless them, trying really hard. A tool in the toolbox. That's how diplomacy works. Absolutely. Put the people in positions of power who are most compliant, most agreeable, most capable of water. I mean, how does Starmer sleep at night? I mean, I really would like to know.
All of them. David Lammy cuddling up with his teddy bear, having written the email that says there is no genocide. I wonder how the UK government, as a government, feel when David Lammy says that, the UK, because that makes all of them culpable in that denial.
Yeah.
You know, as Jeremy Corbyn just put it really simply, genocide denier.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he said the UK government, all of you.
Yeah.
All of you.
I just want to play you this clip from the Prime Minister of Qatar because it's so good. This pushes back against Netanyahu has threatened to hit. Essentially, Netanyahu has made a speech. Well, let me show you. It's very quick.
Thank you, Farida. And that's down to Mark's brilliant brain, I have to say.
Oh, bless you.
It's an epic coffee moaning with months of astounding news all coming together. Share on your social media, everyone. No other news channel compares. Thank you, Farida.
Thank you, Farida.
Hit that subscribe button. It is free, and it does help videos like this get out.
And you know you're doing something right when all of the kind of Zionist bots are kind of scurrying around trying to kind of say nonsense. Let me just play you trigger warning, Netanyahu in the house.
They should applaud Israel for standing and up to these same principles and carrying them out. And I say to Qatar and all nations who harbor terrorists, you either expel them or you bring them to justice. Because if you don't, we will.
Oh, what about you with a warrant out for your arrest from the International Court of Justice?
Well, let's go.
Excuse me, for war crimes.
Let's go to the Qatari Prime Minister. This guy is on point.
And I quote the Israeli Prime Minister here. I say to Qatar and to all nations who harbor terrorists, his words, not mine, you either expel them or bring them to justice, because if you don't, we will.
Well, we don't accept, first of all, such a threat coming from someone like Netanyahu, and he's calling about bring them to justice. He needs to be brought to justice. He's the one who's wanted to the ICC. That's number one. So I think that someone like him trying to lecture the world about the law, he's breaking every law. He broke every international law. He's starving people in Gaza. He's doing all these rogue actions in the entire region. What's next? What's next for him?
You described him as a narcissist. What do you mean by that?
Well, I have no other explanation because the act itself, I mean, the significance of this act, there is no human mind can just absorb it. You know, we were thinking that we are dealing with civilized people. That's the way we are dealing with others. And the action that he took, it's very, like, I cannot describe it, but it's a barbaric action.
Sorry, because I was a bit distracted. Have the bit in there where he was talking about the hostage families.
No, that's at the front. No, yeah.
Because also he was saying just yesterday, you know, the day before, we were talking to the hostage families.
Families of
they
the
were
hostages.
there. Yeah. And he said he wiped out the hope for these families that the hostages were brought back by his actions. But as we know, he has not cared about the hostages. The hostages' families are out every day, screaming that. If he starved, if he bombs, and such a sophisticated army that you haven't been able to actually find any of them yet.
He does. He says in the earlier part of the interview, he says he's killed the hope for hostages getting out alive. I tell you exactly what's going to happen here. Donald Trump is going to use everything in his powers to get martial law. He's trying to introduce it into cities, martial law into America. And Netanyahu is trying to do the same thing. Rather than actually hearing that even the majority of Israelis are becoming so fucking exhausted by Netanyahu, it doesn't mean they're necessarily pro-Gaza. You've got to square those two things up. But people are fed up with Netanyahu. The only move left for a dictator is martial law, remove this specious idea of democracy, and take control. I mean, everything is ratcheting up. Everything is becoming more chaotic. Talk about flooding the zone. Talk about flooding the zone. Things are, as Michael Wolff says, as Bassem says, keep your eye on the news for the next 24 hours.
What do you think is going to happen within the 24 hours?
I think within the next 24 hours.
If you were to guess, what do you think, guys?
My worry is that we've already heard far-right white supremacist voices in America screaming, go out, this is it, this is war, it's the radical left. If the narrative is created that it's the radical left, I think what's going to be most telling is, do they catch someone? Who is it? Who is responsible? If they don't catch the shooter in this high-tech world, that will tell us so much more than if they do. It really will. I wonder why they can't get hold of this one.
Meatsheep says we will see more assassination attempts
so.
in America. I'm really worried for Mandani.
And also, I wouldn't be at all surprised if Qatar have said they have the right to respond, as any country, as we rightly understand, has the right to self-defense. So Qatar has said that alongside Saudi Arabia and some of the other UAE countries, we are collating what our response will be. It might be an economic one, but there's going to be a response of sorts.
Sorry, just tried to see something else.
I think there could be more assassination attempts today. I think we could see more people. Honestly, I think all bets are off at the moment.
And Michael Wolff there, who was commenting on that, he spent a lot of time with Trump and all the administration. He always says everyone around Trump hates his guts, but they're all in it for whatever they can get from it. And he's his biographer, isn't he? And yes, he always gives his air that he knows a lot. I don't know whether he knows as much as the air that he gives, but I don't know. I find him very compelling. I do. Guys, that was an epic live. Thank you for staying with us.
All of your comments.
We have 2 funny videos. Would you like to see 2 funny videos to just break us away, just for a couple of moments? You like our funny videos. And thank you so much. And we love your comments. We absolutely love them. We love to have them coming in and saving us a bit from ourselves. So thank you. And if anybody's new today, we always try and play a couple of silly, funny ones at the end of the show to just give us a breath. Have they come through?
Yeah, if you carry on talking.
Oh, hang on, take this one.
Hang on, no. Otherwise, I'm just, if you just carry on talking, I'll take these 2.
So have a lovely day, everyone, says Susan. Thanks, says Nora Doyle. I think thinking of the people of America today, I know, my God. I tell you what, if I was in America, if I was in America and I could afford to leave, I would be leaving America. Would you not? Let's just play.
Hang on. I've got to take them in, babe.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't do it like this.
Sorry. Yeah, I would be.
So they come in and they just play immediately. That's why I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just
let's take a moment.
This is just a funny clip.
See the bubbles and look at his side eye. Hang on.
Very cute.
He's so cute. Unfortunately, it's a bit blurred there, but non-blurred. I'll put it on my Instagram, actually. You can see the pure bubbles.
Next one coming in.
Give my mom a surprise when she wakes up, so I can cut my bangs. I saw a tutorial. I wanted to go to a salon, but my mom was busy. She said no. I think I cut my bangs enough. Look, guys. I'm very talented. I can do everything. Rawr. Comment below if you like my bangs, or I cut it more. Guys, don't cut your hair at home because I saw a video. Don't cut your hair at home. I'm very professional. My mom is very chill, so she won't say anything to you. Your mom will kill you. Guys, Do you ever cut your hair at home? Comment below. Because I never, but this is my first time. Yeah, I look pretty. Okay, now let's cut it one more time. So you guys, this is the final look. Comment below if I look good. Because I don't think so. Guys, my ear fell down. This is so funny, right?
Oh God, she's dancing.
Like, this is so funny. Hey guys, I got you! This is not my real hair, look! I got you! Do not do this at home. I was just kidding. It's so much hair.
Oh my God, she's so funny.
It reminded me of our eldest who cut
she did
hers
that.
right up here, so it was sticking up. Just one final one, just to calm us all, take us a bit away from the horrors of the world.
You know, she has an older sister, says May Edmonds.
Yes, or she's watching a lot of YouTube. It's all the comment below.
No,
Has it gone?
No.
Oh
yeah, no, I've got it. Okay.
Boys don't seem to have the same obsession with cutting their hair. We all wanted to do it when we were kids.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just desperate to get in there and cut your hair
We
off.
have more of an obsession with hurting each other or hammering nails into each other's knees and things like
hence
that.
Hence the world. We need more female leaders.
You just find it.
So I probably shouldn't have done this because I want to do this trick on you, but I won't be able to now.
Oh my God!
Honey, the fucking door is moving.
He's watched too many horror films. Watch this one.
Dude, it's moving.
Nah, dude. That thing's moving. I was like, you ain't finna take that, bro. Man, hell no! Jesus Christ!
I love the way she'd rationalized it until it then took off. Very funny. There you go, guys.
Take some deep breaths today.
Yeah.
Get out into nature. Take a walk. Turn your phone off. Look to the skies. Take gratitude in small things, like my yoga teacher says, a lovely warm cup of coffee, a cup of tea, a walk in the park. Find gratitude in small things and let go, let God.
I just need to say a technical detail, very boring. You may have noticed, we don't know why. Could it be the content? Could it be the politics? What's happening with some of these lives, once we come off the live, is they don't get processed up to YouTube. And so we have to rip the live and re-upload it. That might be why you're seeing the live disappear with the live chat. I wonder whether that's part of the reason, maybe. Some of your opinions are very strong and very forthright and very on point. Anyway, if that happens, do know if there's ever a moment where you think, oh, it's disappeared, where's it gone? It will come back as a pre-record. We will land it back on the channel, okay?
And please hit the subscribe button, guys. Love you lots, like jelly tots. Ta-da!
Take care, guys. Bye.